talk about intentions in the new year and like all that stuff that everyone's talking about right now. Everyone's like feeling that energy, that like buzz. Everyone's ready to move on to the next thing. 2019. And I know a lot of people will be setting intentions or resolutions, goals, personal goals for themselves. And I thought I might as well make a video about it too, because I've been trying to make a video about it for a while. Oh man, here comes the anxiety. Okay, so this is, thank you for clicking. This is how I start intentions and resolutions and goals for myself in general. So when should I start them, right? When? So there are endless answers to this, because you could start it on a new moon. You could start it on Ostara, which is the astrological new year. You could, or Easter. You could start it on a new season, like if you want the fall to be a certain way, the summer to be a certain way for you. People will do every month. They'll have a new goal for each month of the year, for each week, each day, each hour. Really just whenever feels right, ultimately, right? Like you have to feel ready to do it and ready to make a change, and that's ultimately what's going to help you succeed, is when you are ready to do it. Motivated. Motivated to change. Motivated to tackle something new. So how are we going to start making these changes in our lives? We really want to know, we want to know what it is that we want, right? We need to meditate. You need to meditate and fully consider what you want and how it will change your life. The idea is you want to know it so much that you have a really strong why in your mind of why you're doing it. So you have that strong why to come back to when you're starting to hit challenges, working towards your goal. I'm really just so distracted by the messes here. It is driving me crazy. Maybe I'll just clean that side. Alright, that's better. Okay, so you gotta write down the goals. Writing them down has been shown to help you succeed. You're writing them not only so you hold yourself more accountable, but you're also sort of putting it out there in the universe. You're petitioning, right? You're really putting down what you want to happen. And I would recommend, as like everyone who manifests and does spell work and everything would also recommend, that you write these down in present tense. So you want to write it down as if you are doing it right now, like as if it is already happening, it is already accomplished. So I am abundant, you know, I am in tune with my spirituality, I am a famous rock star. But I would make it more detailed and specific than that. And you don't need to share it with everyone. You know, one of the things that I think, maybe it depends on your personality, but when you're doing spell work, generally you don't want to share what you are currently working on. That's giving away your power, right? And you don't know what people's intentions are around you, even though they might be supportive on the outside. You don't know what their subconscious is doing, what they're really thinking. They might be putting bad vibes towards what you're working on. And scientifically speaking, right? Because we can do both sides of this with me. So scientifically speaking, it's been shown that when you talk about your goals as if they are basically done, or they're about to happen, or they're finished, completed, it gives you like that sense of gratification that you get when you have finished a goal. Like I would talk to people when I was in my biochemistry program, and I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna have a degree in biochemistry, blah 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 blah, and they'd be like, oh good, that's so great. Well, you know, they would tell me all these nice things, and it almost felt like I already finished it. Like I remember getting this feeling of like, wow, yeah, I did a good job, but like, no, Amy, you have another year to go. So it gives you that feeling of accomplishment, but you haven't accomplished it yet, and that can almost happen. That can happen so many times with people that they end up not ever finishing the goal because they already feel good about it. Like they already feel good, like they finished it, and it's they already got their reward from telling everyone about it. So I think there are multiple levels of why this is not a great idea. If you need someone, if you have someone really close to you that you can work with, like if you were in an AA program or something and you had a, is it called a sponsor? It's not a sponsor, is it? words. If you had someone to help hold you accountable that was very close to you and actively working with you towards this, and you just felt really like it was very genuine help, maybe that would be advisable if you think you really need someone around to keep encouraging you in the right direction. If you have a hard time holding yourself accountable for things. But if it's something you truly want and you're truly ready to go there, you probably won't need someone. As far as regular changes in life go, I don't want to speak on addiction or mental health in this area. Another great part of this is that you can put out reminders for yourself and really tie this goal into other areas of your life. So, for example, you could have a little note on your refrigerator door or your kitchen door or your side table or your mirror. I think mirrors are great because you're going to look at it in the morning probably, you know, like pretty reliably. And you're seeing yourself and what you're manifesting or working towards in the same vision. I think that's a really great thing to do. You can also put reminders out for yourself in other forms rather than just writing them down on things in your house or in your car. I started doing this a year ago when I got into witchcraft. I stumbled upon it and just immediately it did so good. Yule is my like witchy anniversary, which is really fun. I think it's a perfect time for me since I grew up so Christian. It's like a really like warm time of year, and it I don't know, it makes me feel comfortable switching paths and stuff. Anyway, so we're gonna keep going. So what I started doing was I got into runes right away, and I started connecting the rune that fit my goal the most clearly, and I would write it on my wrist. I would write it on like my little bulletin board at my job. I would put it everywhere, and I put it on my phone. You know, I got like a sticky note. I have an Android, so I have widgets. So I have like a sticky note widget. I'd put it on my phone, and it was like just I started really. It was always around me, and it really kind of like sunk into me, and then I was successful with that, and I can tell you that story another time. But I think if you can tie it into runes, if you can tie it into crystals, if you can tie it into music that you will always listen to, if you can tie it into tarot cards, a tarot card that you feel connects with it really well and motivates you, essential oils, herbs, anything really, a certain color, if you want to just surround yourself with a certain like vibe or a certain color, because you want to get your energy on the level of the energy of someone who has that goal accomplished, right? That'll make it the easiest, smoothest transition for yourself, because ultimately for you to change and do something better for yourself, you have to raise yourself up to that goal. You have to raise yourself, your energy up to that frequency. And you can also do reminders on social media, on Instagram. If that works well for you, you could follow a hashtag of fitness goals or like motivational business things, whatever you're going for. Confident people, follow some confident people that you want to be similar to, right? We're not trying to be these people, okay? We are not trying to become them or copy them or obsess over them. It's not a challenge, but it can be, you know, you are who you surround yourself around. And in a way, if you have those images coming through your feed, that's gonna come in, and you're gonna make it your own. You want to make it your own. Now, this is much more practical side of it. You want to take your big goal and break it down into little steps, right? So you want to not run 1,000 miles in one day, but maybe you build up to it. You're gonna take some manageable steps. Don't beat yourself up for slip-ups. A lot of people come to me asking about going vegan, or they want to go vegetarian, and they have the, you know, like this grand idea of it, and I'm not bashing them at all for that. I mean, it is like a amazing thing to like start, and you have to have that mindset to start something like that. I hate to see them lose, you know, like they almost get a little brokenhearted when they make a mistake or slip up, or they cave in and eat something they shouldn't have. But ultimately, like, you are working towards the change you want to be. If you have some slip ups, like, that's expected. You're going to be challenged when you start changing something in your life. And don't beat yourself up. I mean, think about the things that you have done right, you know? And you actually care enough to try. That means a lot. And what you ultimately need to do is make steps that are going to be manageable, all right? So with the vegan example, if you can cut it out for breakfast every day, that's not too bad, right? Just don't eat, you know. And then maybe you're like, all right, well, I could also, I don't need it at lunch or dinner, and kind of just cut it out then. Or maybe you do weekends where you have cheat meals, or maybe you have a certain day that you maybe start with 1 day vegan a week, and then 2 days vegan a week, and really work yourself up to it, because you're working towards a bigger goal, right? I would rather someone not be fully vegan for like 5 years and then spend the next 50 of their years fully vegan, right? Rather than them like trying 1 year and totally giving up, right? Like, you need to look at the long run, okay? You need to do what you can do. It's a hard thing to make a change in your life, I know. It takes time to adjust to new habits, and real change takes time. You are on the path, okay? It will not come without bumps and falls and scrapes. It's gonna be a little difficult at first. And that's okay. Especially when you are making these mistakes, you know, really check in with yourself. Set little timelines for you to check in with yourself and think, okay, how am I doing with this? Am I ready to move to the next thing? Or should I work on what I've been working on a little harder? Do I need to take a step back and not get too overwhelmed with this goal? Because if I get too overwhelmed, I'm just going to quit, right? So you need to set up little mini goals for yourself leading up to that big one. And when you hit these marks, reward yourself, okay? And I'm not saying reward yourself with a cheat meal or with something that goes against your goal, because that's training your mind to... I've lost my train of thought. Okay, reward yourself, but not with something that defeats or undermines your goal. That only trains your mind to crave the bad habit, okay? That makes you think, like, that's what I should be doing. That's what I really want to be doing, and I'm just holding myself back with this goal. But that's not the mindset you want, right? You don't want a limiting mindset with a new life change. You want this to feel like you're doing something amazing for yourself, and everything is going to be so much better with this goal accomplished, and with this new habit that you form. It's abundant mentality, not lacking or waiting or yearning for whatever you shouldn't be doing in your own mind. So if you have any other tips for... Oh, there's a little cardinal like right out the window. Oh, we have so many cardinals at our house. This is the closest I've seen one. Oh, it's looking at me. Oh, it turned it around. It was doing like the, you know, looking at me. Okay, it's bye. It's gone. It's bye. It's gone. Talk too much to my toddler. It's bye-bye now. Yay! Okay. So thank you for clicking. Thank you for watching. If you have any other ideas about how to successfully get your goals done, put them in the comments below. I would love to see any kind of discussion or support or whatever. Like and subscribe. Thank you again. I almost wanted to say namaste. Yeah, namaste.